Jamie, here we go. So this is the start of how we're going to put Trent together.
Yeah.
So you're obviously at the computer. Why haven't you got a paintbrush in your hand?
Well, it starts off here first. Once I've decided what I'm going to paint, what I'm looking for, and the pose and all that, I have to find that image because, as I said before, it's not an image that exists. That spin doesn't exist as a single photo. So I've got to make it up. So I go through the library and I'm looking at, a million different photos of Trent. That happens to be the head that I've chosen to use, but there's Mitch trying to tackle someone, and that's another one of him, and that's the one I've actually chosen to use too. So I'm looking through all the archives to try and find, just images of that moment. That was the celebration after the goal, but I didn't think that was as interesting as the spin. So I looked through a few of those and thought, yeah, it's a great moment, but nah. And I thought, do I have him leading out of that was one of the other ideas, have him leading the team through the race in the darkness with a bit of light. But I didn't think that was as exciting. That was one of the ones I tried to thought, that's him spinning, sort of, but it wasn't quite dynamic enough. That's the one we've seen a million times. I didn't want to do that. There's another one, sort of, but not quite right. So I have to sift through all this stuff until I find something that I think is good. That was a good headshot, and I like the cut on his eye because that was from the 2017 grand final, I believe. So yeah. I'm thinking I might even give him that cut, even though in the painting it's 2017 qualifying final, it still kind of symbolically reminds us of that grand final. Anyway, we'll see about that. So I have to think about all these things. That headshot was pretty good, but it's not facing the right way. Anyway, long story short, I settled on this image of him on the turn, on the spin, but I didn't like his head being on the side because we can't see enough of his face. So then I have to look around for other headshots that might fit. So I found that one. So if you look again, I've got rid of the old side-on head and I've given him that one. So, and obviously he's in the away kit, so I'm going to change that. I might pump up his guns a bit just to make him happy. And then he's in the spotlight. So this will all be drenched in light, this front section and the ground. And then in the semi-darkness and slightly blurry will be Mitch, looking a bit confused, and then you can see a younger Trent down there in the background getting up off the ground and looking forward into the future of everything that's going to come from all this hard work and all the difficult times and all the doubters and the naysayers and all that crap you have to go through as a footballer to get where you want to go. So that's how the first stage comes together. And then after that, I'll take you to stage 2, which is over here.
Oh, over we go.
So I've got that. We're happy with that. I've sent that to Trent. He's happy with that. So we go over here. But also, I was still mucking around, as you can see here, with a different pose, which is more of a classical on the run pose. Yes, he's sort of turning. And I like that as a classic pose, but it just doesn't say that spin like this lower crouching one does. So that was another Photoshop mock-up of about 3 different photos. I go through a whole bunch of different images that I think might work, but I still keep coming back to that because that really is spinning. So I did a sketch of that one because I still sort of liked it, but I like the drawing, but it doesn't speak of the moment. So I've settled on this one. So that's what we're going with. And that's the sketch. I've put him into his home gear. I have pumped his guns up a little bit. And given it make the ball yellow, and then there you can see the semi-dark background that he'll be coming out of that darkness into bright light, which is, as we said earlier, which represents the success and the glory that comes from the hard work and the dark times, which is in line with that philosophy that he quoted me.
Cool.
So it goes from here to over here.
We're on the move again.
Oh, also, this is probably the culmination of a month's work already. Just all this stuff, talking to Trent, you guys giving me your feedback, searching through the archives, going backwards and forwards with Trent and getting these sketches done. And then the first couple of brushstrokes, which you'll be able to see now, it's been the last month. And I've probably got another 5 or 6 weeks work solid to do to finish it. So anyway, come this way.
Righto.
So
this is where it begins.
This has taken me about 4 or 5 days to get it to this point on the canvas. But there's something I need to explain. Before you say anything, it's not right. You know, sometimes you think maybe people who don't know, haven't seen a lot of artwork done, you think that, oh, you just go in there and you just, you know, da-da-da, boom, 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 and it's done. Well, it's not. It's a lot of graft and a lot of hard work and a lot of mistakes and correction. So I'm actually going to do something that I hate doing. And it
Get ready for this.
gives me the screaming irrits because it's probably 2 days work. I'm going to have to just pour down the drain. And I want you to see it because I want you to see that we do suffer for our art. Now, his eyes are too close together, right? I'm basing it off this photo, but that's him slightly younger than 2017. Not much, but I've had to trim his hair down a bit. And I can just see, I spent 2 days working on this part of his face, and I love this eye. But if you can see, if you block it out, that looks good. His face looks right, but you take it away and he looks like Cyclops. So when I go back again, look at that, I think the eyes, it's only like about 4 or 5 mil that way it needs to go, but it'll stop him from looking like he's cross-eyed. So
Here we go.
I know.
Oh no.
This hurts. So I'm going to have to rub all that out, start again. So I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it.
Talk about suffering for your art. Sorry, Trent.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay. Here we go. Bye-bye. That doesn't look too good.
No.
Poor old Trent. Just copped a bullet in the eye. And I think I have to get rid of that bit of eyebrow too. It starts too close to the... And that is really annoying. So, you know, it doesn't always work out. You know, like, it's really hard to get that onto there. And it's really hard to keep sense of proportions, and sometimes it just comes out wrong, you know, and it's, I can't have him, it has to be Trent, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It has to be Trent. It can't be Cyclops Trent or cross-eyed Trent. It's got to be determined, courageous,
Three-time
in action,
premiership
three-time
captain.
premiership player Trent. So there you go. Or maybe I just put a Pirates patch over there, and you know, with a yellow diagonal band, and that'll do. That'll save me a bit of trouble. But no, anyway. So there's 2 days' work down the drain. So anyway, there you go. So I put the yellow background in because I want it to have like a really warm glow to it. So when he's in the spotlight, it's like a really warm spotlight, and it's got that Richmondy kind of, you know, yellow glow to the whole thing. So that's why I put that background in, and little bits of that colour will sort of come through. You can see in his hair, even although I'll work more into that. And it's just pretty big. I mean, that is actually larger than life size, I think. If you put my buff head next to it, that's probably not. It's pretty close to actual life size, the painting, because he's crouching down and the canvas is about 1.7 metres high and he's really crouched. So he probably will be slightly larger than actual life size. So stay tuned for more. You guys will be visiting the studio pretty regularly over the next 5 or 6 weeks. So I really look forward to sharing the whole creative process with you and showing you what a pain in the bum it can be sometimes. So.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's how you put a Jamie Cooper together. And this is the start of this little journey we're going on. But what we will also do, we'll let you know what sizes they are and how you can get them and what's involved and all that. But in the meantime, really hope you enjoyed it. And Jamie, I'm sorry that you had to do that to Trent.
In public.
See you next time, folks.
See ya.